Yo, what's up everyone? My name is Andrew Warren, and in today's video, you already know we have to talk about Tesla stock a little bit, and of course do our daily transparency update as usual. And with today's video, I wanted to make sure to wait a little bit later until the market finally closed to actually do a video on this, because I really wanted to see that final conclusion with the end of after hours until it continues on Monday with S&P 500 inclusion. But as all of you all know already, we had an absolutely crazy day for Tesla stock, and I said this many weeks ago when S&P 500 inclusion was announced, and I said the month leading up to S&P 500 inclusion in itself, that would be one of the craziest months in Tesla stock history. And if we take a look at the past month with a portfolio, it has been a wild ride. We are up 38.53%, and even going further on past that, over the past 3 months, we are up 54.62%. So we've had a lot of things going on just over this past month, but especially today, where we saw a lot of volatility towards the beginning of the day, and we'll get into all of these trends. But the reason that today was so interesting is because unlike a lot of other volatile Tesla stock days where it's pretty hard to predict why a stock spiked or why it dipped significantly, at least with today, we can actually attribute some things to, especially in this range right here, why we saw this big dip and why we saw the surge afterwards. And it was pretty much textbook what I was telling you all that I was expecting, where I said I was expecting to see a bunch of fund managers and index fund trackers and institutional investors purchasing on the close, causing it to surge upwards. And I said that before that we might have some short-term traders trying to sell off and get that quick money and sell to these institutional investors. So in terms of around that market close, it was exactly what I was kind of expecting. Now, I didn't know exactly whether the stock would be in the green or in the red near this big purchase happening, but I said overall my expectations coming into this day was that it was going to be a bullish day, and I've been saying that this would be a bullish week as well. And if we take a look at it, we are currently up 10.37%. So in terms of these short-term predictions that I've had, considering how unpredictable that can be, overall I actually did pretty well with those predictions, so I'm pretty satisfied with that. But as always, of course, before we get into any further discussion, please make sure to smash that like button if you enjoy the Tesla videos and the transparency updates. Just taking a look at some of the stats for today for Tesla stock, as you can see, we hit an all-time high of $695, and that $695 was also the close price as well. And that honestly makes perfect sense because, like I said, I was expecting to see a lot of institutional investors, like with the fund managers and index fund trackers, to be making these purchases on the close, and that is what led to not only an all-time high close, but an all-time high share price in general. And then if we really want to look at the insane stats for today, as you can see, 218 million, almost 219 million trading volume, which is so insane when you compare it to the previous ones, like with the day before, 56 million, 42 million, 45 million, 52 million. Here was 71 million, and that was pretty notable back then. So this is around 4 times the previous day's trading volume, which is absolutely insane. I don't think people realize how crazy that is. And right here we have another tweet sharing a bit of perspective by Sawyer Merritt, and he says, Tesla went from $630 at 3:43 p.m. to $695 at 4 p.m., a 10% rise in 17 minutes. And I would say a lot of that 10% rise probably came in that last minute between like 3:59 and 4 p.m. on the close. Adding some more to this, we have a tweet by Eric in which it states, next level, Tesla just obliterated the all-time volume record for an equity with $148 billion worth of shares traded today, beating SPY's $118 billion high watermark set during March chaos. For perspective, Microsoft trades about $5 billion a day. Then we have another tweet in this thread that says, another mind melter, Tesla traded more today than the next 25 most active stocks combined. There's no way that's not a record. So those tweets kind of put things into perspective a little bit. And just to give you a little bit more perspective on how crazy today was, Tesla stock was the reason that Robinhood glitched for today, and it was also not showing that $695 closing price either when I would check the normal market hours for the stock. So I'm not sure if they even ended up fixing this graph. So when we do the portfolio review with the numbers, they may not be accurate. But I know a lot of people that were engaging in option plays for Tesla stock today had a lot of trouble, and I saw a lot of complaining about that as well, because I can understand why they would be frustrated about that. With Tesla stock kind of glitching, a lot of people weren't able to exercise those options. So hopefully that gets fixed for those people out there as well. That's also another reason why I just hold shares on Robinhood. For one thing, I just like the idea of holding shares. Maybe once I grow my portfolio significantly, I might eventually potentially consider making an options play or something like that. But I can certainly understand the frustration with that. So Robinhood did glitch a little bit today, but honestly, it's kind of understandable considering the crazy amount of trading volume that we had with this stock today. So just beginning with addressing the portfolio, we are currently at an all-time high of $274,531.27. And in the normal market hours today, we had a plus 6.54% gain. That is plus $17,354.27. And in the after hours, we had a minus 2.83% loss, which is minus $7,989.13. Yahoo Finance is saying minus 2.59% for the after hours right now, so it seems that Robinhood may be still glitched, and like I said, I expect them to eventually fix that. And I just checked Yahoo as well for the normal market hours, and it's saying plus 5.96%, so it seems like Robinhood is still all out of whack right now, but we're just going with the numbers that it's telling me right here. But overall, like I said, the way that this turned out, it kind of met my expectations and what I was predicting would happen. The bigger questions around the events of today, I think, were how high would it surge if it did surge, and would the demand be higher than the supply, or would the supply be higher than the demand? And I think there were just a lot of people speculating whether there would be more people selling off compared to the institutional investors buying in, and I think a lot of people didn't consider the fact that we would have a lot of index fund trackers and fund managers buying on the close, and that's really what was the game changer towards the end of the day. So just breaking down this movement, we started out at 9 a.m. at plus 1.96% in the pre-market, and then once we hit the start of the normal market hours at 9:30 a.m., we were at plus 2.21%. It spiked up all the way to this point at 9:40 a.m. at plus 4.52%. I know that at that point in time, a lot of people were getting excited because they were like, wow, I did not expect it to surge this soon on. And then we had a little bit of a dip afterwards. Some people sold off, and at 10:05 a.m. we were at plus 0.67%. Some more volatility here and there. Then it dips down to this point at 11:20 at plus 0.38%, kind of going back and forth on that borderline as it dips. And then we start to see a bullish next couple of hours. And once we hit this point at 2:50 p.m., that's when it kind of starts to go downhill with a few bounces here and there. It hits this bounce peak at 3:10 p.m. at plus 1.94%, and that's when things start to go downhill significantly. So basically what was happening here is a lot of people that were looking for that short-term money, they knew that those institutional investors would be purchasing around the period of that close, so they started to sell off their shares in expectation of that. And then I'm assuming there was also just a lot of people that might not have known about that, but saw the stock starting to dip significantly, and I would say there's a lot of people that panic sold here as well. And after all of this madness, we hit this low point at 3:45 p.m. at minus 3.25%, and then we start to see this tremendous surge upwards. And I'm kind of curious as to if there were some institutional investors, and I know that retail investors were probably much more comfortable with this decision than institutional investors, considering the big difference between the purchasing amounts, but I wonder if there were some institutional investors that took advantage of this low point rather than buying last minute or within the last 5 minutes, because this was a significant discount. And the institutional investors that likely caused this bounce upwards between this 10 minutes or so, those that purchased early during that time frame dip right there, most likely got a much better purchase price than those that purchased on the close. And keep in mind, like I said, Robinhood is a little bit glitched still, I believe, so I'm not sure if this chart is completely accurate just because we had most of that action happening near the close. But really, whoever made this purchase right here and decided to go against the grain of just waiting until the close, they got a much better discount than the ones that purchased afterwards. But continuing on with after hours, it surges up to this point at 4:10 p.m. and like I said, the chart could be glitched. I'm just going on from what I can see here. And we had a dip here and there, some volatility. It dips down to this point at 5:05 p.m., bounces back up to this peak at 5:35, and then dips back down a little bit. And then as you can see, it says currently minus 2.83% for after hours. However, like I said, Yahoo Finance is saying minus 2.59%. But in total, this was an absolutely crazy day. And some people may be saying, well, it wasn't that crazy. It's not like it went up 10% or went up 15% or 20%, but it's more crazy in the sense of what actually occurred today. So many different transactions occurring, and just a lot of speculation around who is going to win, the people holding onto their shares or the people that are wanting to buy the shares. Which side is it going to favor? Is there going to be more demand, or is there going to be more supply? And I think it was really interesting just to see how this unfolded, where we can actually attribute a lot of this bounce towards the end here to the fund managers and index fund trackers that were having to make this purchase to track the S&P 500. And that's a pretty notable moment in the sense that we can kind of judge and attribute this movement to certain events and certain things happening, because in a normal market day where we don't have events like these going on and we see these up and down movements, we don't really know for sure how exactly that's happening. And of course, we don't know all of the details about the movements for today, like with the early part of the day, but we knew what was happening towards this last hour of the day, and you can kind of attribute some things to what we actually see on the chart here, which I think is really cool. Just addressing the different time frames for the portfolio, for the past week, we are currently up 10.37%. That is plus $25,787.84. For the past month, we are up 38.53%. That is plus $76,353.97. For the past 3 months, we are up 54.62%. That is plus $96,977.02. For the past year, we are up 166.54%. That is plus $171,533.44. And then finally, for the all-time chart, we are up 167.44%, which is $171,879.89. And addressing Tesla stock specifically, like I said, these numbers could be a little bit messed up, but combining both the normal market hours and the after hours for the day, we have a plus 3.22% gain, which is plus $9,365.02. And then for the total return, we have a gain of plus 104.15%, which is plus $153,294.51. I just wanted to share this portfolio update with you all as usual, just to have that transparency, and also so we could talk about this a little bit, because like I said, this is probably one of the craziest days in Tesla stock history, and it was just so cool to see how all of this unfolded and what actually occurred after all of this speculation. And the cool thing is that we still have Monday to look forward to and what occurs after Monday as well, whether we have more people buying afterwards or if there's a sell-off. But we already have people like Jim Cramer saying that he's expecting even more upside after S&P 500 inclusion. And I'm personally just preparing myself for anything, but I'm excited about all of the possibilities and just a lot of speculation happening around Monday as well. With that being said, please make sure to smash that like button if you enjoyed this video, and also definitely feel free to check out my referral links in the description below to Robinhood and Webull. Especially with Webull right now, you can get 4 free stocks in total, 2 valued up to $250 just for signing up with my referral link, and then another 2 valued up to $1,600 for depositing $100 into your Webull account. And you should be able to take that money right back out after you get your free stocks. You may have to wait a bit for the free stocks to settle, but when I did it, I was able to take that money right back out. So it's basically just nice passive income with minimal effort, and it also helps support the channel, which I really appreciate. But I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week.